Include my audio.
Same here. And
And
welcome everybody back to Rated Random. I'm Rated,
I'm random.
and we're playing Power Wash freaking simulator.
Uh, this is such a satisfying game.
Too satisfying.
Yeah, it's one of our
Okay.
dirty pleasures.
You dirty pledge? Wait,
I know.
what?
You take the pun as you want.
I I don't know if I'm gonna agree with you on that one or not. Uh,
I mean,
just
it's just
saying.
dirty, and I enjoy
You're
it.
dirty.
So it is a pleasure, right?
Watch what you're saying on that. People may misconstrue. Okay, let's see here. Well,
Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah,
remember
this
the
one.
buttons. Okay, yep. Been a minute since we played. We've already
Oh yeah.
went through. I trust you have everything you need. Yeah. I'll start on
Oh
the.
yeah, I have everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna start over here on the fountain.
Okay, I'm gonna start over here on the far left side, I guess. Oh.
Ooh, haven't played this on console in a while.
Turn down the actual volume on my TV. There we go. Now I don't have so much crap.
So yeah,
Ah.
this is the new uh, maps for Power Wash Simulator, the Laura
Laura
Croft
Croft.
portion.
Hmm. Cartoon where you like, oh damn, you know, like just as a character, like just like a character. She was like one of those like, kind of like Jessica Rabbit types for me. You know, like it's kind of weird, but at the same time, it's just super hot.
Um, when I played her games, I was more frustrated because the games were actually so hard to control. But
Uh,
yeah, I just remember those games. The controls were a nightmare.
right. I guess
Yeah.
I wasn't into video games as much back then, so I guess I can't say anything about the gameplay because I really don't remember too much. I remember playing it, but I don't. And I remember playing more than not.
And the wolves killed me all the time because I couldn't freaking aim the gun. I mean,
Yeah,
I was when I started. It was still early games, and I was pretty young and didn't know what I was
right,
doing.
right.
Yeah, I got a ding.
Yay. It's gonna be a while before I get a ding. Well, maybe not. This race 4 might actually be done faster than I'm thinking.
I just enjoy the black, dirty colors just going away.
Right. I like doing this section at a time, going from like top to bottom to bottom to top. Just watching it kind of all. like especially at the end when you get to see everything kind of go away and you can watch the progression of it.
Yeah, the recap. Yeah, that's always a good one.
Oh yeah. Which, now that I think about that, I should just focus on all the bottom portions of this house first.
Yeah. Hey, I kind of see your wall.
Right?
Just like a printer, back and forth. Sorry,
Right.
a dot matrix printer.
Wait, what?
That's those old printers that basically put dots as it printed. That's why it's called dot matrix. And it's what it
Oh.
went back and forth, and then basically did dots per line.
Dot matrix. I thought you said doc matrix, like doctor. Trying to remember now what the guy's thing was. Oh, fuck. Sorry. My coworker that I usually drive with let me know that we're gonna have to drive separately tomorrow because she's got a dentist appointment. God, what was?
I don't know. You know more about wrestling than I do.
I
You
know.
don't know. I don't know.
No, I know it. I'm fucking struggling with the name. P.S. Hayes. That's what his actual, well, not his actual name, but that's who he was. He was a part of the Freebirds back in like the 80s and the 70s, early 90s, I believe even.
I kind of remember Freebirds.
Or that they would use was Leonard Skinner's Freebird, but it wasn't, I don't think it was actual Freebird. I think it was like a Freebird, if I remember right. And then they, the famous thing at the time was to create your own music and then show up on, like, debut the song on one of your big wrestling nights. One of like the big pay-per-views, if you will. At the time, I can't really say it was a pay-per-view. At the time, it was just a marquee event, and so at that time they were super hot. So they made their own song called "I'm a Free Bird, so what is your excuse?" I think it was called. At least that's what I know what the song title. Well, not the song title, but that's what some of the words are in the song itself is. So, but yeah, so I remember them talking about that particular event when they came out with that song, and they were like everything went well in rehearsals and everything, and before the show and everything like that, and everything sounded good before we went out there and everything. And then all of a sudden, we get to the live show, and none of the microphones or none of the music is playing because they were just supposed to play the song itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just the background music of it. And then they were supposed to actually sing the song, right? Or maybe they were supposed to dub over it or something to the effect. Or they were, I think they were supposed to actually sing the song or whatever. So, so the music wasn't playing correctly. And they're going out there, and his partner, who was supposed to be singing in this song with him anyway, never really actually knew the words, as it were. So basically what ended up happening was they just took the music video taping and the audio from that and just playing that. So you were hearing two different voices going at the same time, off key and off timing. Like just slightly for PSAs. And the anyway, so he just basically had a bad dubbing for the most part. He's just like, yeah, anything that could go wrong in a entrance did go wrong on that, or something like that. He's like, I'm convinced still that somebody sabotaged us on that night.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But it sounds like that would be
Nah, that was
interesting. I mean, like you said, it was like
right.
80s, so.
Yeah, I think at that time it was like late 80s. So that was, well, actually, it might have been early 80s at that point, because I think they were going against the Von Erichs. And I don't remember when they died in that car crash. Or not car crash, airplane crash, I think it was. Like everybody in that family, all the boys in that family except for Kevin, I believe it was, all died in that airplane crash. That was a sad thing.
Yeah.
Especially for, God, was it Kevin or was it Carrie? I think Carrie was the one that was super hot at the time. And the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds, holy cow, that was a rivalry that
Wait, 1 second.
Texas loved.
You see the message that popped up?
No, I did not. Actually.
You don't see it? Okay. So it's from Winston Smith. Winston Smith was the butler, wasn't he? Or was he the friend for Laura Croft?
No, that was the butler.
That was the butler? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
when the messages pop up after cleaning so much, it's from Winston.
Oh. Nice.
Miss Croft is quite an extraordinary woman. She demands exacting standards both from herself and from others. If you excel, you'll meet with her generous side.
Yes. I hope I do.
If not, well, Miss Croft has an extensive and colorful vocabulary.
Oh. So do I. Starts with Dom. Ends with Atrix.
Anyway, sorry, back to your story.
Oh yeah. So those two groups, the Von Erichs and the Freebirds, were a hot commodity. That was a hot like rivalry. Freebirds being the bad guys and the Von Erichs being the ultimate good guys. Especially at that, like they were wrestling in Texas. I believe they were doing it mostly at the Alamo Dome for their big events, and then they would go to the the place was, but it was a smaller area, but it still held like thousands of people. But yeah, that was like the premier like event to go see was the Von Erichs in Texas at that time against the Freebirds.
We
The
didn't
place
get any.
basically. Go ahead.
So we didn't get any of the pay-per-views, so I didn't get to watch any of that stuff growing up. But I was a big fan of the Bushwhackers and Hulk Hogan when he was a good guy.
Right. I was more interested in him as NWO Hogan, just for the fact that he always said that he was never going to turn heel, and then he finally did, and it was like one of the best things ever. Although it kind of showed his actual side of life, so. But yeah. There we go.
But yeah, I like the Bushwhackers because I like how they entered.
Oh yeah, they were very entertaining.
They were.
They were weird as hell, but they were very entertaining.
And they did, and they played both sides. They were both heel and I can't think of the good guys.
Face.
Face. That's the
Yeah,
word.
Yeah. Yeah. You either turn heel or turn face. And well, technically it's called babyface. That's the technical term, is babyface. Anymore, I just call it face because, like, more times than not anymore, the so-called baby faces, like back in the day, the reason why they called them baby faces were because they were usually the good-looking, typical, like, strong, you know, smooth bodies, everything, pretty boy type of wrestler. Now anymore these days, if you're a baby face, it don't matter what you look like. So I just, more times than not, you're gonna hear people just call it turning face instead of baby face.
Yeah, I didn't know about being babyface.
Yeah, God, you'll hear people like Stone Cold say that term more often than not. Because that, like, especially in his era, it was used very heavily because you had The Rock, who was total babyface. You know, total that women eye candy kind of guy, you know.
Do you remember his hairstyle back then?
That was the hairstyle for the ages.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
For the time.
I had a
time
few of those hairstyles of the 80s that I would never go back to.
Well, and it was a little different for him too when he first started, because when he first started, he kind of had that Samoan hairstyle,
Yeah.
the traditional look at that point in time. So when he came on as Rocky Maivia, God, people just hated the way the way he looked, because they knew that he was supposed to be the next prototypical good guy. That like that was when the time was changing a little bit, where they wanted more of the badass to be the good guy that they wanted to see. So Stone Cold was kind of starting to get into that
I think
era
more people
where he
like
was
Stone
starting
Cold
to.
because he was a beer drinker.
Well,
Beer
it
drinker
wasn't so much
redneck.
he was like everybody else. That's basically what it was. He personified the typical man at that time. Like
Right.
any common guy would go out and go buy a beer with his buddies or whatever, get shit faced and go home and get yelled at by the wife. And he just turned out to be the type of wrestler that ended up not only cashing in on that type of personality, but also gained the other personality of being able to actually tell your boss to fuck off and beat the shit out of him.
And
Which
not get fired.
every guy and woman, yeah, exactly, not get fired. That's what everybody wanted to do. So it was the start of that that degenerate movement, if you will.
Yeah, before
That's
Degeneration X made it a whole thing.
yeah, because I think it was Stone Cold first. Because because it was during the Bret Hart saga, Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, where he got put into the sharpshooter, and he was a heel at the time. Stone Cold was the heel, and that's when he ended up turning face. And Bret Hart kind of turning heel because he was sitting in that sharpshooter for like, I think it was like close to the 10-minute mark or something like that, and he would just not give up. He wouldn't tap or anything like that. He would actually literally pass out before he would tap. And just seeing that gruesome face of just blood pouring from the top of his head down into his mouth and everything as he's screaming in pain, like that visual, like of people seeing that going, oh my god, he doesn't want to give up, he's trying so hard, and that's like, it was just made him a baby face.
The other
So
thing with
it
Stone
was
Cold is he was more of a
I wouldn't say anti-hero.
yeah. It's
He
kind of hard to pinpoint, but he was more like a Deadpool who wanted to do what he wanted to do, not what everyone else wanted him to do.
Yeah, that's very true. But that was the cool way of thinking at that point in time. That was what people wanted to see, and that's the kind of attitude that people had at the moment, in those. Socially, so yeah, it was more of a he's given everybody what they would like to do when they can't themselves
Yeah.
at the time.
Yep.
But it wasn't too long after he emerged that Degeneration X started going off. Because basically, once he's got the okay to do his stuff, it wasn't. I think it might have been only a month or two, and then Degeneration X started doing their stuff. It really, like, pretty sure that's how it went. I'd have to rewatch some of the videos that I have on that. But
Yeah, you dinged. And you dinged.
yep, I'm almost done on this far left wall.
I've gotten to the center portion of this fountain.
Oh, nice. I tell you what, the stories that come out of those times, though, um, of what people basically were like you see them on TV and be like, oh look, you my favorite person, that's my favorite diva, whatever the hell. And now years later, a lot of stuff's just coming out about certain people that are like, whew, wow, that was my role model. And then there's some where it's like, yep, I completely thought that about that person at that time. He was as good as I thought he was, or she was, or whatever. Got screwed because they were a good person or whatever. And that's kind of what it was like at some certain times. Like Sunny she was a diva, and she has just went to prison or something like that because she was driving drunk and ended up killing somebody in the opposite car, I believe it was. And she was passed out or something like that. She like passed out beforehand, and yeah, and she apparently after this happened, a lot of stories and stuff have been coming out about how bad of a addict, like a alcoholic she was and stuff like that. So that was one, and then a lot of the things I heard from people's interviews and stuff like that, she basically cheated on her husband and boyfriends or whatever anytime she could and stuff. I don't know. It's like, wow. Like hearing that kind of stuff, I was like, you know, at the time you looking at her, she was just this young, petite little girl that you thought was just wholesome as can be, even though she was like a heel at the time, you know. But I guess certain people just can't handle their demons.
Yeah. I'll have to get to that later.
Oh, I'm gonna need something.
Yeah, there's a couple scaffolding, the really tall ones over on this side.
We'll see here. I'm gonna see if this thing's done when I'm... Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna need to. Alright. It must have just been that one down there that I missed a little something on. Which I didn't even know I missed anything on there. If I wouldn't have accidentally hit that, I would have never known.
The screen shaking.
Screen is shaking?
No, less screen shaking. When you hit the
Oh.
up arrow, you just move the power washer around instead of the screen.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Can't remember what mode it's called. Motion sickness thing? I don't know.
Standby moto.
Stand by me?
Step by step, day by day.
Here's the outline of the fish.
Remember the Alamo.
There's no Alamo. Here.
Oh. Well, shit.
other stuff that we talk about while grime and dirt.
Wah! I fell a little bit. Unexpectedly.
Um, no, I didn't get that while you were going, ah!
No. Well, it's a good thing I said something. You would have never known.
I would have never known.
Well, you would have known if you would have went back and looked at my VOD, I guess. But.
Come on, pedestal. You're gonna be clean. Ah, there it is.
Nice.
You went, ah, and I just went, oh. From the Midwest, if you couldn't tell. Oh. Yeah, I never knew that
I
was
need
the
to
Midwest
rewatch.
phrase until the internet.
Really? I need to rewatch Avatar.
The Last Airbender or the Avatar?
The Last Airbender. The good one.
There's a good one besides the series.
That's it.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, you need to watch the series. Okay.
Yeah, I need to watch the series. I'm not gonna watch the movie. The movie sucked ass, and it was nothing like what the series was. And then the one with the blue people, come on. The first movie was pretty good, but I will say though, I'm not that interested to watching the second one. It's not. Not saying if it ever was in front of me that I wouldn't watch it, but.
Not gonna go out of your way.
My way to go watch it now. It's another movie that's come back to life after 20 years of it being gone. You know? Now if they revise like old Nickelodeon show like Legends of the Hidden Temple, then yeah, I'd fucking watch that all damn day.
I think they tried and it failed, so they dropped it again.
They made a movie.
Was it
They
a
didn't
movie?
make a TV show. Yeah, it was a movie. And they did make that. They didn't make, they were gonna see, I think, off the movie if there was enough interest for people to watch that to see if they wanted to bring back the show, I think. And the movie was, I mean, it's a kid's movie. It's not, it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't horrible either, I guess. I don't know. Definitely not what I would have thought when I was thinking Legends of the Hidden Temple. I was thinking you would see Olmec like on a lot of walls, you know, like just a different version of him or something like that in each room that they would go to or whatever. But no, I think you saw him once, maybe twice. And I don't even remember if he actually said anything. Like you would have wanted him to.
Put this backwards.
Or the Or the sports show Guts. That was a good one too. That one was one to watch because, in fact, if I remember right, Saturdays it was Legends of the Hidden Temple, then it was Guts, and then after Guts, I think I would start watching
There a ladder
Gladiator.
around?
I don't see one. I know there's another scaffold over there.
Yeah, I can't reach from the scaffold. I was hoping there was a ladder to jump up.
I don't think so. I think all we got is the scaffold.
And the step stool. Let's see if the step stool helps.
But I would start watching American Gladiators after that. And then after that, then the good cartoons would start showing up, like All Real Monsters, Hey Arnold, Rocket Power. That would be my Saturday morning cartoon kind of fix. And it would go beyond Saturday mornings at that point in time, I think. Then you get to watch all that, and Keenan and Kel, and the later portion of the day. That was a point in time where there was just nothing but good television on for, well, kids television anyway, for Nickelodeon and stuff like that. I watched a little bit of like Disney Channel stuff, but like nowhere near as much as I would watch Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work. Did I not click buttons? Gotta remember the buttons. Is it? I wonder it's not. Wrong button again.
What are you trying to do?
I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Maybe you should try hitting the right button.
Yeah. I did eventually. I want to go up the stairs, dang it.
No. Don't let him.
Just let me do what I want to do. There. Yeesh.
Oh, scusi. I had mac and cheese for breakfast / lunch. Brunch. Ah, jeez, I fell. I'm apparently missing a piece on this wall, and I don't know how or where.
This entrance wall.
Yeah,
This
but I'll get
archway,
it.
the wall. It's this section right here.
Oh, is it this portion right here? Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
So the fountain area
Go.
should be done. Swinging it around with a freaking controller.
Bring it around town. Bring it around town. Can you do this?
I saw a meme today. that I thought you would like. They said, it was like your friends say, quit making Disney quotes. We just don't understand. And then it shows Mushu's on dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Dishonor on your whole family! Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow! Oh my god, yes. I was literally gonna say, like, before you said anything, I was gonna say, I don't really understand memes that much. Like, I don't understand what it is about memes that get people that one I understand, that one. You're speaking my language on that one. I was, I think it was yesterday, I was watching, video on all the more recent Nickelodeon shows. A little bit past our what we would have been watching. I watched a little bit, I think, when I was in high school, because I don't know if there was really anything to watch at that time. But like, they were doing theme songs for what was it? Like, actually, now that I think about it, no, it was a bunch of theme songs overall. It wasn't just that. But it's for all the TV shows that had actual people in them, none of the cartoon theme songs. So it had like iCarly on there and Victorious, but they also had Hey Dude.
Hey Dude was my generation.
Yeah. They also had a little bit of mine too. They still played it.
And Salute Your Shorts.
Yep, Salute Your Shorts was on there too. I remember Salute Your Shorts pretty good. And they had Clarissa Knows Best, or Clarissa Explains It All. All that, of course. Keenan and Kel, which I completely forgot how good that theme song was. I believe, was it Busta Rhymes that did that one? No, it wasn't Busta Rhymes. Who was that? It's been the same era.
I have no idea.
God, it was the guy with the...
With the...
Sorry, I'm sending somebody a message real quick.
He just kind of stopped, so I was like, that helps me
Yeah.
narrow it down.
Alright. What was I talking about?
I don't know. Theme song.
Nickelodeon theme songs, yeah, that's right.
It wasn't Busta Rhymes, it was someone else on Keenan and
Oh,
Kel's
that's
thing.
right. I was gonna look that up, actually. That's what I was gonna do.
Just haven't got that yet. Okay.
can kill. Oh, here it goes. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, Victor Concepcion. That's right. Okay. He was kind of like a one-hit wonder a little bit. Not, I think he actually did do more, but like the hairstyle that he had at that time, it was a little weird and wacky. He basically had like the spider leg kind of hairdo, where he would just have these like pointy out, like almost like cornrows that would just be.
We got
pointing
Laura
outwards.
Croft actually talking now.
Oh really? What's she saying?
Hello, I trust Winston has extricated himself from the freezer in time to make you tea. That's an old funny from the old game. There are two things that always find their way out.
Okay.
Hang on.
Quick, pause and go back.
I'm in the messages now.
Oh, okay.
There are two things that always find their way out: the truth and Winston. So yeah, that's a reference to the old video game where you could trap Winston in the freezer. Otherwise, he'd follow you around with his jittering tea set everywhere.
Oh, really? Seriously?
And the only way,
I
the only way you could get him to not follow you around was to trap him in the freezer.
did not know that was even a thing. That's fucking hilarious. But anyway, so I watched some of that, and then I started remembering some of the other things that I remember from other TV shows, and this was actually a Disney original, I believe, movie, but like Lemonade Mouth. They had some pretty good songs on that.
Yeah, I remember you watching that one.
On that movie. Yeah, that one I thought was a good one. Also Camp Rock, that was a good one as well for me. High School Musical was okay. It wasn't 100% my cup of tea, but it was all right. I definitely don't hate it.
Yeah, that's getting out of my generation.
Well, what was that? Like, the first one was like, what, 2006? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Lemonade Mouth was like later.
Yeah, like I said, I remember you
living
watching it. I didn't ever sit down and focus on it.
Yeah. I think we were living in Pilgrim at the time.
That's possible. A couple years before the tornado hit.
Yeah. I think there was two of them.
There were multiple tornadoes that day, but only one went through the actual town.
Really? Because Nick told me when he went on that there was two that actually went through the town. Then there was a third one that was off to the north. That was not. I think that one was closer to Wismar. But there was three on the ground at the time, and I thought he said there was two that actually went through the town. I doubt. That was when he was. That was a long time ago though, because that was when he was still driving for the news crews, so that he was actually chasing those freaking tornadoes around. He said the weirdest one that he ever was a part of was when he was over by Fremont. I think he was like over by Morse Bluff, that hill, going out of Fremont, and the air, like he got to basically. And all of a sudden he said he like blew the smoke out of his mouth and it just stayed in midair, just in suspension, and wasn't like dissipating or nothing like that. It was like looking into like a lava lamp and watching the globs kind of just floating in the middle there, you know, and just moving so weirdly that he said that's basically what it felt like, and that the air was like so. I can't remember if he said if it was light or heavy, but he said it was just a weird feeling. And he was like, wait a minute, I think I'm in the middle of the goddamn fucking tornado right now. And so he got into his vehicle and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that'd be a smart move. If there's something strange going on, yeah, probably something nothing good's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, the people that do it, they know how to read the storms and have a good general knowledge of how to stay out of its way.
Right. Which I wonder if Chris does, because he does that with his buddy in Lincoln quite a few times. There was one time, I think was home or not, or what was going on, but Chris and his buddy heard that there was a tornado that was going to be around Lincoln, so they started going out looking for it. All of a sudden, the next thing they know, Jill was trying to get a hold of them because the sirens around their home were going off. And they're like 20 or 30 miles out of Lincoln, going the opposite direction. And she's like freaking out going, I can't believe he left me here. At least I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's been a while since he told me that story, but yeah.
And you're going way up there. Have you been getting on the scaffolding to do that?
Yep.
I have not. I've done everything I can from the ground and kind of pointed towards the upper portion, but not focus on it.
Yeah, I was just starting from one side and moving in from the left to the right. That's all I've been doing.
I've done the right to the left. It's just I haven't been focusing on the upper portion. So there's still a lot to do in the upper portion of the right.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's this thing. So when I give people motion sickness,
Guess I'm a bad guy then, because that's all I've been doing.
Yeah, I've been doing it a few times, and then I'm like, oh crap, I can't do that. Some people get sick with all the back and forth, and
You know,
I mean, it don't bother
People are-
me.
I was gonna say people are from my extreme are just gonna have to.
Have a
when they
vomit
watch
bag
this one, they're just
handy.
gonna have to- I don't know about that, but they are gonna have to deal with it. 'Cause I'm sorry, I just can't do that technique with that. It just goes. All right.
Yeah, when it comes to kind of being slightly more accurate, yes, I will not use that. Like mostly when on the upper portions.
Right.
Already ding. Yeah, it's like it already dinged.
There we go. Oh, I missed that up there. I need to get up there. I need to go up.
The buttress did it.
You touched the button. Okay, so now get the extension out. Yes.
Okay. Yep, gonna go get the scaffolding out. And start back over here.
There you go.
Do it about right there. I said right there.
Okay. Okay, alright, now I gotta move this thing inward. I'm glad that you don't break your legs when you jump off this thing.
Yeah. Or when you had to do that fireplace without using the scaffolding or whatever, the fire station.
Yep. There we go, that covers better.
Now we're getting all sorts of dings.
Whoops.
So I was thinking the other day, you know, it got really nice out
Mm-hmm.
for here, and I was thinking, you know, you know, I was in the military and I had friends that were from like Texas, and if I'd have said that to them, they would have looked at me funny. And the temperature was 40, like 7.
40 bullet, like, yeah, 47, yeah. They, anybody, like, anywhere from, like, California or anywhere from the east to the west coast, down in the south, they would all just look at you going, that's fucking cold, what are you talking about?
47. That is still really cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
when
it
the
was
day
that
before
night?
was like negative 15, 47 is a really high increase.
Yes, it is. I'll do the standing in one spot and do the thingy.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. Like right now.
That's what I'm doing right now. Super annoying.
Yeah, with the controller, it's a lot harder to use. Like on PC that I've played this on, mouse is way easier to use for this. And I suck at using the mouse.
Right. So I saw one day somebody play backyard football. That's something, or it was backyard. Yeah, it was backyard football. I haven't fucking heard of that in so long. Because there was backyard football, backyard baseball too. That was a PC game series that was so good back in the day.
Say I vaguely.
Right.
What?
Okay.
No, no, no.
Yeah. No, you don't say that. Turn that off. Turn that off. Turn you off.
Okay, so what? Oh, is this white thing maybe? Okay. I thought we had to get up on the roof. I'm like, we don't have anything tall enough to get on the roof. Hi.
I believe I can fly.
Yep.
I believe I can touch the sky. You start.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't even try to.
There's absolutely no denying that.
Yeah, exactly. You said it. You knew what I was gonna do after you had said it.
Who's over there snoring up a storm?
I'm not surprised, and you would be too.
Ah.
Oh, shit! Well.
Whatever did you do?
I don't know what you're talking about. You just stay on your side of the wall.
Mansion.
Wall mansion.
That was a very bright light. So that just looks dirty.
Wow. Is it just me, or does your person turn real slowly?
Yeah, he is very slow. I think the settings got changed. Hey, how's it going?
Going.
Oh, you're up there. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Stop it. Asshole. Asshole.
You were floating.
Asshole.
You were
Asshole.
floating.
You're floating.
There we go. Off to the races. Horse names. They're so funny.
Find myself a response to that.
But you don't know the funny horse names that usually come out of the racing horses?
No, Dad, I don't. Why don't you tell me some more?
Has a few. A couple of these I'm not gonna say.
Come as you are?
No, may the horse be with you.
Oh
Who farted?
my god. Me.
No, who farted?
Me.
Passing went.
Me.
Yeah. What else we got? Why kick a moo cow?
Okay.
It's all one word. Why kick a moo cow?
That one could be better. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little try hard. That's a little too much of a try hard right there.
Wear the fox hat?
I'm surprised they just didn't go with the "What does the fox say?" Once again, a little too try hard.
But yeah. There's tons of those names floating around.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. There we go.
Huge stuff on it. Whew, Dexter. Maybe he wasn't snoring up a storm. Maybe that was his butt.
Good boy. Stink daddy out.